All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Kakwadash. Second, I want to give double honor to the apostles, the GMS that rule of well. And a peace, blessing, salutations to the hopeful elect that consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, which this truth is geared towards for. And Lord's will you be edified. I have a couple of videos I want to do. This one, I want to start off with, let me see. What inspired me to do this lesson is the lovely brother Shaquan GMS Jackson, Mississippi. It's his page right here, GMS Dedication. Subscribe and be edified. It says, what one nation in the earth is like people of Israel. And I do this to say this. So, this was $1 billion. Let me get a couple of scriptures. Hold on. I'm not going to try not to make this video too long. It's John 8:32. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. One thing for certain, it's been $1 billion plan to keep our people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, sleep and stupid as hell. And I happened to be able to travel for a little bit these past weeks. And it's one thing I start to realize again, not realize again, but I came across this funny as hell. When you go to from like the Eastern Hemisphere, the East Coast, about Virginia, you see a lot of how you say city living, but you'll kind of have in the midst of it, you see dirt bikes and Jake somewhat doing a little bit of country shit, if you get what I'm saying. You might see little chickens amongst in the city, whatnot. I know in South Richmond, you got a lot of Northern Kingdom. You have a lot of chickens and a lot of farmland, what you call it, gardening. Even in the what is it? I think the western part of Richmond, you'll have people that garden amongst in the city, and I say all this to say this, when you go to different cities, you see amongst different Jakes, especially down south, like Birmingham, I believe in Atlanta, Jackson. I saw it in New Orleans. I didn't get to somewhat go all through it, but I went around it. I kind of did like a little Charlie Boy 313. A lot of places where I go, I kind of see how Jake is living. But I say all this to say this, man. Esau did a good job on our people. Everything about our heritage, everything about our knowing who we are has been pretty much evaporated. Has been distorted from us, and we've been lied to. And you do certain country things, like you go amongst Jake, and you tell him that you do farming, you dirt bike ride, and you do pretty much things that not the ordinary thing that Jake would call black or Latino. And you're looked at like you're a fucking heathen. And it's crazy as hell because you have Jake, that's what them city boys do. That's what them country boys do. And it's like, hold on, come on. But you just, you just anxious. You just, how you say it, ponders on you, like, yo, y'all niggas is just through. Because you got certain, like, for instance, you go to the city, pretty much all Jake want to do is club. All they, the notion is drinking, getting high, chasing women, you go to Atlanta. I was actually happy to go to Atlanta as well, and I chilled in Atlanta, and went amongst my family and my mom's side, and it was like fucking Black Hollywood, bro. I was joking around like, yo, what do y'all want to call this TV show? It's fucking women, bro. And they're seeing that how Esau has really like took our complete heritage from us, our law, statutes, commandments, our high holy days, and it's pretty much made us complete Americans. It's crazy as hell. And no one seeing that how low we have become like the heathen. Let me get this real quick. So Proverbs 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. And as you can see, all so-called black people, Latino, Hispanic people are doing is pretty mindset is to be and live like a so-called Edomite. I'm still like a so-called white man. His ways, how the way these niggas act, how the way they conduct themselves. These niggas really do act like the true nigga on the earth. And that's the so-called white man. He's the true nigga on the earth. He's a true vagabond. He's a true fugitive. He's the true criminal. And unfortunately, our people have become such. Our whole, let me get this real quick because I have planted a noble. Get this real quick, and then since hold on, so it's Jeremiah 2. So Jeremiah 2:21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, which is our people, so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanic, Native Americans, holy, a right seed. How then art thou turned into the first chapter? Because we've been underneath the so-called white man too long, and we follow his ways, and we actually believe that this nigga is our friend, but it's complete contrary. And here it is. This man has put all types of devices amongst our people and has destroyed our people chemically, physically, mentally, and spiritually, at all angles. I found my book Art of War. Lord's where I'm going to start reading it. And Lord's where I can conduct some videos out of that. But how the way this man has really pretty much conducted himself amongst us, it truly shows. So Romans 1:25, it says, who changed the truth unto Yahweh unto a lie, Yahweh Shem to a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause, Yahweh Shem give them up unto vile affections. And pretty much that's what Esau has done. He has gradually created avenues of wickedness that we started to conduct ourselves in. At one point, so-called black people was on a high stature. We married often. Men conducted themselves in a certain fashion. Women conducted themselves in a certain fashion. But now when you look at our people now, they're just ass backwards. Scripture says, woe to them that call evil good and good evil. And that's pretty much what our people have become. They're against complete anything, anything that's good and has something that stands for something righteous. Our people are completely against. And that's because, the so-called white man set up these avenues and we fell for it. And since the fact that we pretty much believe the so-called white man more than our own power and love the so-called white man more than ourselves, this is what our power have allowed to happen. Ultimately, the civil rights movement which our people fell for, and then ultimately what, the black exploitation era, and then the crack and the cocaine, and then the gangster rap. All these forms of policies and legislations which our people fell for. Look what has happened to our people, and now it's to the point now you can't tell our people anything. For even their woman did change the natural use into that which is against nature. So the so-called black woman, the so-called Latina woman. And I was talking to the brother Bond, that's also in Mississippi camp, and we were talking about the Northern Kingdom woman, and another brother was like, yo, yeah, and me and that brother, we just put our head down. I'm like, yo, them bitches is no better, you know. It's when you really been around like so-called Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, Mexican women, El Salvadorian, and I grew up around a lot of Hondurans, Guatemalans, El Salvadorian, Mexicans, and I've heard those men talk, and I'm not trying to pacify none of them niggas, because a lot of them men are fucking beyond wicked and gay and love cocaine, but overall I just heard a lot of stories about them. A lot of them don't even deal with them because they have some shit to them as well. So again, our women has just they're not the same as what you saw thus, 100 years ago. So 27 and likewise also the men leave the natural use of the woman, because you got to remember, um, the plan was to destroy us as a nation. So Esau had to destroy the whole outward, Salaki, the whole image of a man. So instead of a man, so pretty much, um, the black so-called Black Panthers, the Brown Pride, the Young Lords, um, you had the so-called Native American. I forgot what they were called, but you had pretty much that last oomph of men standing up for, power, oppression, um, So, like I said, oppression, adversity, trials, etc. No fairness. They demonized them and made it look like they were, how you say it, the worst men on earth. They demonized Cuba, etc. But overall, they destroyed the image of men. They pretty much tried to make it seem like men were just oppressing, on a lower level. But ultimately, you denied and you overlooked what the whole system was doing to our people. So now these men are burnt out. You know, um, they don't want us. They don't have a backbone. They don't ever put their foot down. When you go amongst women, all these women are complaining, oh, men ain't men, this and that. Well, our whole nation fell for what the system did. And like the scripture says, if in order to destroy a nation, you got to bind up the strong man. So that's what Esau was eventually able to do. So, and our women took what? That gift, government assistance, government aid. So it says also, and likewise also the men leave the natural use of the women. So a lot of men don't want women. And, you know, when you look at the dynamics of a relationship between men and women, it's all fucked up. And another thing too, I'm gonna show y'all real quick. I also want to do a lesson on this. This is a great. If you can even, I don't know, you probably won't be able to find it no more. But this is a old article I had. I believe the brothers even in Mississippi have this article. If I'm not mistaken, as well. I remember me and the brothers down there. We we printed out this sheet long. I want to say early 2010s, and it shows you just a list of what Esau, the whole the New World Order checklist. And when you really look at from what they've done then to now, they've gotten pretty far. I'm gonna continue on and I'm gonna wrap it up. So it says, burn in their lust one toward another, and it's getting so bad. Esau is able to do what? Present a sex robot. Men with men, and this is what you're seeing heavy. To the shit I saw in Jackson, I, I was like, yo, that shit is crazy. You like these, you know, I'm gonna just tell you like this: if you're still going in the club scene, you got problems. You got demons on you. Because the shit I saw there, yeah, that shit is crazy, man. And it's not only it's not only in Mississippi, it's not in no, it's not in Atlanta, it's everywhere. That's a new thing now. You know, men with men, women hanging out with trannies. The niggas is buying sections with women and trannies, man. That shit is crazy. So my point of saying all of this, if you're still into this limelight, if you're still believing in this system, you know, if you're a woman, you're going to be a whore, and if you're a man, you're going to be a mo, and you're going to have severe mental problems because, like, the fact that they're making sex robots is just pretty much showing you the condition and the mentality of men. So men with men working that which is unseemly and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error, which was meat, 28, and even as they did not like to retain Yahweh Bashem Shah and their knowledge, Yahweh Bashem Shah gave them over to a reprobate mind. I mean, you know when you look up the word reprobate, matter of fact, let me look it up. Okay, this is our people. You know, at one time, a noble vine, but now a degenerate. And this is ultimately tying all this in. You know, once we woke up to the truth, you pretty much said, I'm no more of this world. Going into Romans 12, 1 and 2. So it's the reprobate mind. It's the AI overview. It's a mind that is morally corrupt, and that's black men, black women, black so it's Latinos, women, men, and Hispanics and Native Americans. Because when you go and West Indians, because when you go amongst all the tribes, at one point they had morals, but now look at our people due to the fact that they love America. So unprincipled and unable to discern right from wrong, and that's a tongue roll right there, you know. So often described in a theological context as a state of rejection by Yahweh Shem Shah, this condition is characterized by a deliberate suppression of truth, leading to a mindset that is given over to sinful and depraved actions and thoughts. And that's our people. Why? Because what? You love America. You love the so-called white man. You love the heathen. It's gotten so bad. You got nigga that's know that they're Israelites talking about the heathens and the Gentiles can be saved. But that just showed you, how reprobate our people have become. So we gotten so low. All we worry about is saving and loving the other nation more than we love our own self, our own nation. Characteristics of a reprobate mind: moral corruption. A person with a reprobate mind is considered morally depraved and unprincipled. So even starting when our children are first born in this world, they have no principle, no guidance, and no structure because the parents are even fucked up. Our grandparents are fucked up. Our cousins, the community is fucked up. So even if they go outside and go amongst them peers, they're fucked up. Rejection of truth. This state is a result of persistent and willful rejection of truth and a refusal to acknowledge Yahweh Shem Shah. And that's our people. Look how so many of our people jumped on the Drewski bandwagon. Inability to discern. The mind is no longer able to properly distinguish between truth and lies. See, and that's what Esau have done due to his media. He pretty much have destroyed the barrier of good and evil. Now he just threw it all together. And now instead of our people saying, "Nah, that ain't right." Like for instance, all you got to do is turn on TV now, and I know I can't really tell you too much, but what I'm seeing now from the commercials and the glimpse when I do or put if I do turn on the TV. Matter of fact, I do one better. I do one better. I know I didn't want to make this lesson too long. Let's look at black TV shows now. Black TV shows now. Black TV shows now. Let's see what's out there. So hold on. I think this is all 2025. Black TV shows 2025. So you got Abbott Elementary, The Neighborhood, Beauty in Black, Reasonable Doubt, Power Book, Zatima, 911, Harlem, new upcoming series, Clean Slate, Dope Thief, The Residents, Government Cheese, Iron Heart, War Dogs, BMF, what is it, Atlanta Sisters, The Shy, Harlem, Beauty in Black, Blackish, Ironheart. Um, Let me see. And all of these TV shows depict the worst of Jake. This is not reality. This is not how so-called blacks should be ordaining themselves. Even you also even have so-called Latino shows that just depict you nigga just being straight American. The mindset of Edomites, man. And our people extol these TV shows to the heavens. And again, just look at our people. So this is why you have the inability to discern what's right and wrong, because the TV pretty much blurred out that line. Sinful actions. It is characterized by a willingness to do things that are considered wrong or not convenient. So one thing for certain, what has been used, Christianity. Christianity has been a great tool to bring our people to this current condition that our people are in. That's why you got a lot of our people, you know, going. I mean, they're going into Muslims, into Islam, but going more into the rabbit hole. But you know, Muslim and Islam, they try to portray as if they have more morals or principles and structure. But overall, that's the so-called Arab religion, and those Arabs, they had a great hand to do with our captivity. And one thing for certain, you know, you got a lot of our people that convert to Islam or Muslims. But actually, I have to ask this: where's your Arabic woman? So lack of conviction, right? Individual may pass feeling remorse or conviction for their actions. Instead of Jake feeling wrong and trying to change themselves, they take pride in it. They love it. So I'm gonna finish that Romans, the first chapter. So verse 28, and even as they did not like to retain Yahweh Bashem Shah in their knowledge, Yahweh Bashem Shah gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication. This is why you got the rap music. Who's out there? NLE Chopper, and then you got NBA YoungBoy. Fornication, and oh yeah, your boy 6'7" Skrilla, a true degenerate, drug use, etc. And one of my boys I grew up with, and I known him. Honestly, I've known him since I was probably like 11, 12. And me and him was just sitting down talking like, yo, the upbringing today is crazy. We was talking about how we had a neighborhood, a community, with all motherfuckers from Jersey, New York. We had Northern Kingdom, we had West Indian, we had it all. We had African niggas out there, we had Arabs out there, we had it all. And pretty much what we pretty much had a whole world, and we knew from we knew different things. We seen the hatred, we seen the love, we seen how other nations get down. We saw how our people got down. We were just talking about our upbringing, and just talking about this youth today. But furthermore, this is why when you wake up to this truth, you have become an enemy of the state. You have become the problem. Why? Because Esau paid billions of dollars to make our people become a degenerate, more so than a righteous man, a Hebrew Israelite. So 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, and now people covet this world, covet this American society. Maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, and whisperers, backbiters, haters of the Most High, despiteful, and that's all people. That's why when you look at the most crime, problems, murder, gang violence, etc., it's amongst our people. Now, yes, you have problems amongst Esau, you have problems amongst other nations, but you understand due to the fact that Esau is the accuser of our brethren, starting with Amalek, the so-called the fake Jews. They depict as if we are the worst and the most problematic people. But ultimately, this goes back to the curses due to our disobedience to Yahweh Shem Shah. So it says, inventors of evil. Here it is. We created America. We're the reason why America is where it's at now. And I'm talking about from so-called blacks all the way to so-called Mexicans and Native Americans. But what do they show? They don't show how we created everything and how the nations got rich, how the heathens and the Gentiles, due to our free labor, they don't show you um, what we created in this video right here. The brother did a great lesson on this, man. You know, so going back, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of Yahweh Shem Shah, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So our people, uh, they have pleasure in doing wickedness, man. Simple and plain. They love it so. I'm going to wrap this thing up. Those who certified. Thanks to Shalom.